Hello and welcome back to the course of Fundamental of Electronics and Electrical Engineering. In this lecture, I am going to continue with the electrical machine. The topics that I am going to discuss in these lectures are DC machines, that is DC generator and DC motor. In the previous lectures of electrical machine, I have discussed about the AC motors, three-phase induction motor and different types of single-phase induction motor. So in this lecture, I am going to discuss DC machine, DC generator, construction and working principle of DC generator and DC motor. So let us start with the DC machine. So DC machines are of two types: DC generator, which generates the energy, and DC motor, which converts the energy from one form to the other form. DC generator converts mechanical energy into the electrical energy. As the name suggests, it generates the energy, and whereas DC motor converts electrical energy into the mechanical energy. A prime mover supplies the mechanical energy to the DC generator, which generates the electrical energy. A motor accepts the electrical energy, which is in electrical form, and from the DC source. That's why it's a DC motor, and it converts it into the mechanical energy at the output. Now both DC motor and DC generator works on a DC supply. That's why it is a DC machines. DC machines are having two windings, field winding and armature winding. Field winding is stationary winding which does not move at all, and the armature winding is a movable winding which is mounted on the armature, and armature is mounted on the shaft. The armature mounting is mounted on the shaft so it can rotate freely. Now this is a block diagrammic representation of DC generator. One prime mover is there which is used to rotate the armature of the DC generator. So input energy is a mechanical energy, and DC generator converts that mechanical energy into the electrical energy. So at the output, one bulb is connected, so bulb will on when prime mover start to rotate. So it converts mechanical energy into the electrical energy. And DC motor accepts the electrical energy, which converts the electrical energy into mechanical energy, and that at the output we are connecting some mechanical load. Construction of DC generator and DC motor is quite similar. Exactly, we can say DC generator can work also as a DC motor also. Now, to operate DC machine as a motor, field winding is connected across a DC power supply, and armature winding is also connected across DC power supply. The field winding acts as an electromagnet which is wound around the poles, and due to DC field current flowing through it, and it produces the flux in the air gap between two windings, that is a field winding and armature winding. Armature also carries the DC current, and it acts as because armature winding is also supplied a DC source, so it acts as a current carrying conductor which is placed in the magnetic field produced by the field winding. So EMF is induced in that, and it will start to rotate. Now moving towards the principal operation of DC motor. So when current carrying conductor is placed in magnetic field, it experiences a force. In the case of DC motor, magnetic field is produced by a field winding which is supplied by some external DC source. So current flowing in the field winding produces the magnetic flux, magnetic field. That magnetic field passes the air gap and it cuts the armature conductor. Armature winding is connected to DC source, hence it plays the role of DC current carrying conductor placed in the magnetic field. And as current carrying conductor is placed in the magnetic field, it experiences the force. So due to force exerted on it when placed in the magnetic field, it starts rotating and armature start rotating. So this is the principle behind the operation of DC motor. The direction of rotation depends on the direction of magnetic field produced by armature winding and field winding. Now moving towards the construction of DC machine. As I told you, DC generator, construction of DC generator is same as that of DC motor. This is a cut section of a DC machine. These are the different parts that I am going to explain you one by one. Commutator is there, brushes are there, armature winding is there, field winding is there, poles are there, shaft is there, bearings are there. So let us understand yoke is there, each and every parts of the DC machine in detail. So here you can see one simplified diagram of cut section of DC machine: yoke, pole, field winding, armature winding, commutator, brushes. These are the different parts. So let us start with the first one, that is a yoke. So yoke is a basically outer cover. You can see here one diagram also, so you can see it has outer cover which is used to, it is also known as a frame, which provides the protection to the rotating parts and other parts of the machine against dirt and moisture. It is an iron body which is made up of low reluctance material, so flux can easily pass through it, and it provides the path for the magnetic flux produced by the field winding. Material used for yoke is a cast iron, cast steel, silicon steel. Next one is a pole shoes and pole core. So here you can see there are 4 poles. So it is a basically electromagnet. The field winding you can see here is wound around the pole. So when current is passing through the field winding, it works as an electromagnet. It produces the magnetic field. Pole produces the magnetic flux when field winding is excited, as I told you. Pole shoe, here you can see it is an enlarged part, extended part of the pole, and that extended part is an enlarged one. So due to its enlarged area, more flux can pass through air gap and reach to the armature. It is also made up of low reluctance material like cast iron, cast steel, silicon steel. Next one is a field winding. The field winding, the coil wound around the pole core is known as a field coil. All these field coils are connected in series to form the field winding. So all these field coils are connected in series, and that is nothing but the field coils. And so 2 terminals of the field winding will be there, and across that DC supply will be given. Current is passed through the field winding in specific direction to magnetize the pole. So magnetic flux will be produced. So when current will be passed through the field winding, alternate N and S pole will be produced. Next one is the armature core. It is a cylindrical drum mounted on the shaft. You can see this portion is nothing but the armature core, which is mounted on the shaft, which consists of large number of slots in the outer periphery. All slots are parallel to the shaft axis. Armature conductor are placed in these slots. It provides the low reluctance path for the flux produced by the field winding, and it is made up of low reluctance material. So here you can see armature is there, which consists of slots on the outer periphery. It consists of some air holes which is used to provide the ventilation, and this is nothing but the armature, which consists of which is made up of lamination, thick lamination sheets to minimize the losses in the motor in the machine, and it is made up of low reluctance material. Armature winding, these are made up of copper and which are placed in the armature slots. These conductors are interconnected to form the armature winding. When armature winding is rotated using prime mover, it cuts the magnetic field produced by the field winding, and voltage is induced in it, and it is connected to the external circuit through the commutator and brush. So here induced voltage can be taken out by means of commutator and brush. Next one is a commutator, which is a cylindrical drum which is mounted with the along with the armature. It is mounted on the shaft, same shaft on which armature is mounted. So here you can say you can see here these are nothing but the commutator which is mounted along with the shaft. It is made up of large number of wedge shaped segment of hard drawn copper material, and all these copper segments are insulated from each other by thin layer of the mica. So it is made up of copper material, hard drawn wedge shaped type of segments are there which are insulated from each other by means of mica layer. Armature winding is tapped at various points, and that winding is connected to the various segments of the commutator. This is also a commutator. You can see here these are nothing but the segments of the commutator which are insulated from each other by mica material. Now what is the function of the commutator? So for DC generator, it converts the alternating EMF induced in the armature into DC voltage. So its work is a rectifier. And for DC motor, it helps to produce the unidirectional torque. So for DC generator, it works as a rectifier to convert the alternating EMF generated into the armature into the DC voltage, and for DC motor, it helps to produce the unidirectional torque. And it is made up of material like copper. Next one is the brushes. As commutator is rotating, in the case of DC motor, it is not possible to connect it directly to the load. So we require some mechanism. So brushes are mounted on the surface of the commutator, and which is connected with this spring. And the function of brush is to collect the current from the commutator and apply it to the external load. And brushes are made up of carbon material, so carbon brushes are there. Now brushes wear with the time, so it should be inspected occasionally and should be replaced if required. So these are the different parts of the DC machine, that is a DC motor and DC generator. Now moving towards the different types of DC generator. So generators are basically classified according to the way in which the fields are excited. There are two fields, there are two fields, that is armature field and field winding is there. So separate, based on that it is classified into the two parts, that is a separately excited generator and self-excited generator. Separately excited generators are those whose field magnets are energized from independent external source of DC current, and because of that torque can be independently varied. We can control the torque externally. And self-excited generators are those in which field magnets are energized by the current which are produced by the generator themselves. So in the self-excited generator, field winding and armature winding is given same supply. In the separately excited generator, field winding and armature winding is given different external DC sources. Now, self-excited generators are further classified the way in which field winding and armature windings are connected. So here, DC generators are basically classified into two parts, separately excited generator and self-excited. In separately excited, armature and field windings are given separate supply. In self-excited other, there are three classifications: series wound, shunt wound and compound wound. Series wound, in series wound DC generator, field winding and armature winding are connected in series. In shunt wound, both are connected in parallel. And in the compound wound, some part of the field winding is connected in parallel with the armature winding. If long part is connected, then it is a long shunt. If short part is connected, then it is a short shunt. So these are the classification of DC, different kind of DC generator, DC machine. Now moving towards next one, that is a separately excited DC motor. So as the name suggests, this is nothing but the armature winding and this is nothing but the field winding. The armature and field windings are connected across two separate DC supplies. RA and RSH are the resistance of armature and field winding respectively. RSH is always greater than RA. Now as DC is turned on, IA and ISH will start to flow. IA is a armature current, ISH is a shunt current, ISH is a field current. A magnetic field is developed by the field winding in which current carrying conductor, that is armature, is placed. So as per this Fleming Lafland rule, current carrying conductor experience mechanical force and it will start to rotate. Here both windings are given external supply, so torque can be varied. Now what is important of separately excited DC motor? So first one is the back EMF. Now when armature of DC motor start to rotate, it will cut the magnetic flux produced by the field winding. And as the magnetic flux is cut by the armature winding, EMF is induced in the armature winding according to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Now this EMF induced act in the opposite direction to the armature supply voltage according to the Lenz law, because according to the Lenz law, induced EMF opposes the cause of its production. Cause of production of induced EMF in the armature winding is supply voltage across the armature winding. So this EMF works in opposite direction to their armature supply voltage, and that's why this EMF is known as a back EMF. Now it is proportional to the speed of the end. Why? Because if the armature is rotating with the high speed, then more EMF is induced, so back EMF will be also more. So a back EMF is directly proportional to the speed of the rotation, and it is zero at the standstill condition. So now equivalent circuit of the armature is looking like this way. Now EB is there, which is working as a back EMF. So total voltage across the armature will be V minus EB. Now in this equivalent circuit, armature current IA is given by V minus EB divided by RA. Now what is the significance of back EMF? Let us understand. So armature current I is equal to V minus EB divided by RA, where RA is the armature resistance. Now as I told you, back EMF is proportional to the speed of the armature. So as when load is connected, speed decreases. Speed decreases, then EB also decreases. EB decreases, then V minus EB increases. V minus EB increases, then armature current increases. So speed of the armature increases. Now if load is decreased, then speed increases, EB increases, EB increases, then V minus EB decreases. V minus EB decreases, then less armature current will be produced. So less torque will be produced for the low load. High torque will be produced for the high load. So ultimately back EMF will automatically adjust IA to produce required amount of torque. This is the significance of back EMF. So this is all about the today's video lecture. In this video lecture, I have discussed about construction of DC machine, that is DC generator, DC motor, working principle of DC motor, different kind of DC generated, separately excited DC motor, and significance of back EMF. Hope you have enjoyed the video. See you soon in the next video of the electrical machine. Thank you for watching.